And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's the Lakerholics Spotlight. Lakers weekend, everyone. Gerald Glassford, thanks so much again for joining us. Truly appreciate you doing so. Make sure you go ahead and check out what I'm doing today with my morning recap of what went on the day before in the world of the Lakers. Go ahead and check that out on Lakers Latest here after our show today. And then also as well, get set for Sunday night when we come right back at you here with the Lakers Rockets game for post game. But don't forget as well to stop by for all your Lakers information and needs and opinions. Also stop by Lakerholics.com. Well, Jamie Sweet's not here. Still traveling all over. I guess he's in Northern California this time around. He was in Las Vegas with me. We saw each other. I saw him physically. He's actually, I think he's actually even an inch taller than me, and I'm 6'2". So there you go. He's like Joe Sorrell's size. So got to meet him and his wife. It was a great pleasure to doing so. But it is now a week later. The Lakers are now 3-0 on the verge of a sweep against the Houston Rockets. The stat I guess everybody wants to throw out there. It was posted by I think Kurthika. I can't say her last name. I just can't. I don't want to even. I'll try it. Uthaya Kumar. Hopefully, I didn't butcher that too badly. NBA teams were 1,713 and 1,713 and 1 when leading by 6 or more in the last 30 seconds of regulation in the playoffs in the last 29 years. Key there is 29 years. The only other team besides what
Why
the
is that a
Lakers
key?
did. Well, hold on. I'm just saying, but the only other team to do this was the 2024 Knicks, as far as that's concerned, outside of what happened last night when the Lakers came back from a 6-point deficit with less than 30 seconds left to beat the Houston Rockets 112-108 and go up 3-0 in the series.
29 years ago, and there you're giving us stats from within
No,
5 years.
no, in 29 years, Tom, 1,713.
The trend is happening,
Yes,
More
but
and more.
again, but in 29 years, the stat was in 29 years, 1,713 and 1. They don't count the 1995 New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers, where Reggie Miller scored by himself 8 points to go ahead and win the game with a few seconds left. That, if you remember that game, the Universal New York Knicks choke game. I was funny because that 29 stuck out to me, and I'm like, what is wrong with this picture? And then I look back, I'm like thinking to myself, oh, they intentionally did not put that game in there, like they were trying to exclude that. Yeah,
make it even more.
It's the third time in history.
Yeah. Yes. So.
Interesting.
Well, great to have you here, everyone. Tony, let's not think negatively, my friend. Let's just say finish the job. Let's say finish the job. He's already thinking the Rockets will win tomorrow. The Lakers will win in 5. Again, let's hope for the best. Let's hope they can finish the job right away. But it is, of course, Lakerholic Spotlight, Lakers weekend. Great to have the guys here. I'm going to start off first with the first guy here, who is the guy from the Aloha State, guy who's enjoying the weather. It is, of course, Michael.
I'm going to go to the beach later today, guys. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
When you think where you are and what your weather's like.
And I go to the desert. So there you go. Michael, great to have you here. I just wanted to go ahead and say what a great job by the Lakers. This is exceeding everyone's expectations. Not the fact that they were winning in the series, not the fact that they could win this series, not the fact that they could sweep the series. It is the fact that we're here at 3-0, Michael. Just been a great time. Your thoughts on the Lakers' first round series so far?
Well, my first thought, I have two for each side of the ball. My first thought is I hope that Luka and Austin are paying attention to how the ball is moving. This is what I have been wanting all year, the ball to move. We relied all year. I mean, we've got both of them are great one-on-one scorers, but I just think we're a much more dangerous team when the ball is moving. I'd rather have the ball moving and Luka making 25, 26 a game than 33 a game. Yeah, pounding the ball. It's a joy. It's a joy to watch these guys move the ball, play like a real basketball team. It's not one-on-one competition. I mean, that's my offensive take. I mean, we have offensive talent in our reserve role, in our others, in our role players. It's just that everybody's surprised, but they shouldn't be because they're getting a chance to show, hey, I'm a good shooter. I mean, Rui led the league in 2-point field goal percentage this year. He was 6th in 3-point percentage. And an interesting stat, he is the all-time leader in 3-point percentage in the playoffs with 100 shots or more. The guy can shoot the ball. And everybody seems to surprise with Luke and Rui, how everybody's no, it's not a surprise. These guys are talented. They just don't get that enough chances to shine. And then on defense, my biggest takeaway is, first of all, Marcus Smart is the rock. However, just like it's a joy seeing, connectivity and ball passing on the offensive side, it's wonderful watching these guys play defense as a unit, a connected unit. And if you do that, you can overcome maybe some of your limitations individually, defenders, if everybody's on the same page, as everybody's connected. And that's what I've been seeing from this defense. They're playing as one. And it's a joy. It's really a joy to watch. If we could just stop the stupid turnovers and maybe limit a couple less offensive boards. But yeah, that's my takes.
Well, also here today, good man indeed. It is, of course, the guy who goes and says a lot about what's going on with the Lakers at Lakerholics.com. It is Tom Wong, Laker Tom. Great to have you here. Again, a great ride so far. When's it going to end?
That's an interesting question. I really agree a lot with what Michael said, because the whole thing about the opportunity that these guys have been given, who were the 4th and 5th and 6th options before, and suddenly now become the 2nd, 3rd options or 1st options times. It's just been impressive, and it bodes something really interesting. Going back to your question, Gerald, of when is it going to end? Because I think the Lakers not only have shown everybody that their bench is deeper and better than everybody thought, but the opportunity that these guys have been given and the way that they have responded to it, it's going to make the Lakers a much tougher out for the Oklahoma City Thunder, in my opinion, especially if we get some of the basketball gods' good news and Austin really comes back and gets some time in minutes in Sunday, and Luka's not far behind. My biggest fear is that if Oklahoma City sweeps also, we could see the second round of the series move up a week. That's not a good sign for us, but
let's hope the Suns get at least one.
yeah. You want to see that happen, or that there's some arena problems, or other things that cause the system not to move it up. But yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas, not even on Sunday, in my opinion. I think that you want to keep playing the way you're playing. If you sort out the 2 games to Oklahoma City, the 5-point loss that we had in the middle of those 2 games, playing without Luka and Austin, and the 2 losses that we had in the 18 games starting on February 18th, this team has really lost, other than to Oklahoma City, we really lost only 3 games by a total of 15 points. Otherwise, we've won a total of 23 of the 26 games. And the competition that there's no qualms about the competition that we've beaten during the times, nor the way we've done it. I did not believe the game. Let's talk about the game. That comeback was incredible. That play by Marcus Smart to intercept that pass, take the crazy shot, and then make the damn three free throws. And follow that up by starting the overtime with a three-pointer and finishing it with 6 straight free throws.
Yeah. Let me jump in for just a second.
5 of 6 because he made 5. He missed 1, but 5 of 6. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, let me drop. When we fell down 6, missed the shot, there was only one guy on the Lakers that didn't give up, and that was Marcus Smart. Everybody else, shoulders drooped, trotting back. It's over. Everybody gave up except Marcus, and that's a real tribute to that guy. Even though it was one of the most boneheaded plays by Smith that you'll ever see in a basketball, all he had to do was dribble the ball. There was nobody guarding him.
Well, the follow-up, the guy who
all he had to do was just dribble.
Deshaun Tate. Deshaun Tate is getting a lot of flack for that, but it was Jabari Smith Jr. that made that terrible pass in the first place.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. He all he had to do was just dribble.
Yep.
Nobody's guarding him. Why he made the pass, who knows why he tried to make that pass. He picked up his dribble.
You could see at the end of the game that nobody except for the center was willing to take a shot, man. Yeah. I mean, I've heard this on I've listened to all of the talk radio shows, and how the talk has been about the fear of the Rockets players at the end of the game taking the shot. They just
I gained a lot of respect. I gained a lot of respect for him too, because defensively at the end, he was the only guy flying around trying to do something.
Yeah.
They
didn't lose because of him.
No, they did not.
Again, also want to point out, in that final 30 seconds, Reed Shepherd, the fact that they needed a ball handler, they needed someone that could really steady.
That was a great play by LeBron to steal it.
6'9", LeBron is 6'9". Reed Shepherd is 6'2". Ben, I'm being generous, and yet somehow LeBron is able to reach under and still whack that ball from behind on a shorter man by 7
They drafted him number 3.
Yeah. Well,
LeBron knew that he wasn't going to be able to stay in front of him.
Well, hold on. I want to put on that topic with Tom. He dropped him. He has played solid for them this season. He is a 40% plus 3-point shooter. He's just not who you want him to be as far as a point guard, traditional point guard in that sense.
Right.
But he's only a second-year player. It is, and it was also in a pretty lackluster draft. Let's just be honest here.
Their whole team is 23 or under. You got to
well, it was the second youngest starting lineup, I believe, in NBA playoff history. Was somebody threw that out there, or one of the youngest in NBA history, playoff history. So that obviously the experience factor there, but also Ime Udoka didn't settle these guys down at all, and you've got to help these guys make better decisions. Again, just an absolute failure on all senses, on all parts with the Houston Rockets in that final.
I'm tired of hearing that excuse. I hear that as the excuse rather than the Lakers defense, rather than the Lakers offense. It's always, the whole theme that's followed this rise of the Lakers has been good fortune, other players falling out and
Tom, I spent an hour last night praising the Lakers defense, but also you have to go ahead and look at it as well from a Houston failure perspective. When the Lakers do the same thing or have done the same in Chicago, we went back to the Chicago brain fart with LeBron and the worst 1 minute of his entire career. We went and didn't say enough about Chicago. All we were saying was how LeBron messed up. So again,
I'm not saying you, Gerald.
But I know it's everybody else is saying
single show I listen to, waiting for praise for how the Lakers are playing, how JJ is coaching, how LeBron is doing something.
Oh no, and we trust me, Tom.
Shit on you all the time. I'm tired.
We have spent a ton of time talking about that. Absolutely. JJ, we went on JJ. We've talked about the praise for LeBron, Smart. We went off on that. But at some point, you also have to talk about the fact that this was going in a retrospective, Michael, a much better matchup for us. The fact that they don't have a traditional point guard in
How's
Houston
that working
right
out
now.
for the Nuggets, man?
Well, it, it's great for them. Of course, they're down right now. But Michael, for us, it was a really good matchup. They don't have ways to exploit our problems on defense because they just don't have those guys that will break you down.
Yeah.
It just proved to be a much more favorable matchup against Houston right now, Michael.
Yeah, it was. It was, I mean, that was the team I wanted to play. So I was,
And then we shot well enough to do it too.
It's the team that the Nuggets wanted to play, and they tried to lose the last game and couldn't.
Yes.
But first of all, I mean, Houston. This is management's problem with Houston. I mean, when Van Fleet went down at the beginning of the year, at training camp, and they didn't go after a point guard, even just a floor manager, because they have enough other weapons. They didn't need a dynamic.
Well, I don't know about that, Michael. When Bronny James outscores the Houston bench in only 9 minutes, actually only 1 minute, because he
wouldn't have won without Bronny's play.
Yeah, but
Bronny took 2 shots. Bronny took 2 shots, and in those 2 shots, he made more points than the entire Houston bench the entire game.
Yeah, but Houston had 2 of their bench players starting, so
so did we.
Well, it's the same thing, Michael. I mean, the Lakers had that same thing too, but it's also the adage of how quality of depth that you have. And the Lakers, we've talked at length about the lack of depth on the Lakers, because these are the 2 of the worst NBA benches statistically during the course of the season. But we saw that there's even a gap between the Lakers and the Houston Rockets this weekend.
Yeah, well, it boils down to they don't have a point guard on their roster.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets when you talk about Marcus Smart. I mean, I understand the complaints about the risks that you sometimes have with a guy who's spotty and shooting. And
his injury history was the thing that I was worried about the past 2 seasons.
But what's amazing is that there was numerous times in this game where having him out on the court was the only thing that kept this team from falling completely apart without LeBron out there, because not only did he constantly pick on Reed to do 1-on-1 shows and get points to score and keep the other team at bay while LeBron was resting, but his ability and to make a clutch shot and not be afraid to take that open clutch shot, even if he's missed his first 5 shots, has been amazing. And like you pointed out, the fact that he was the only guy who really was responsible for the game not being over, just with his hustle.
Yes.
And talk about the clutch free throw shooting and everything else. I mean, it's just been an amazing series by him. And no question that him starting is that there's no question that he's going to start in any game that we've got going the rest of the season, regardless of the lineup.
And it's kind of interesting too. They're so not afraid of Reed Shepherd breaking anybody down. Reed Shepherd is a shooting guard in a point guard size, but they had Rui on him half the time because they're not
their defense this series that I've seen.
Rui can stay in front of his guy. I mean, that's always been a strength of his, and he has a 7'2" wingspan, so it makes it difficult to shoot over him. But they had Rui on him because he doesn't have the handle and the moves to break Rui down.
He doesn't have the speed to beat a big man to the rim.
Yeah, well, Rui moves his feet really well for a big guy.
Yes,
but that was a surprise to me. Is like they put Rui on Reed Shepherd, and he couldn't take advantage of of his speed.
Well, the thing is also that Luke Kennard, the Lakers have been very, very wise in their schemes. JJ has put out a scheme on defense that allows this team to hide Luke Kennard on defense
Well,
because
nobody's ever one-on-one on this team unless we make a mistake in the lineup and so forth.
but I'm just that's what I'm trying
to.
to say, that Luke Kennard is the reason why he's been on so many different teams is because of his defense, and the fact that Houston has no one or has had no one to exploit him on the defensive end has been a masterful job by JJ in as far as that end is concerned. Because you saw in the games leading up to the playoffs where of SGA and Cooper Flag, they took the Laravia Luke Kennard backcourt and destroyed them on both those games. And to this time around, they just in Houston, they just don't have anyone to do that. They don't have anyone to do that. So you can easily hide a Kennard on the wing against a shooter hiding in the corner. So you can easily have him away from the action in order to, as far as on the defensive end, so you don't have to see him get exploited, which has been a great part of what we're seeing now in OKC in the next round. That's going to be a lot tougher to do, but for right now, that's been a really big key, is that the Lakers, any mistake or any flaws in their defense, they've been able to hide very well.
Yeah, you're bringing up. You mentioned. You mentioned. Who did you mention?
Laravia and
Laravia. You mentioned Laravia. Let's give Vando his minutes. I mean, he has, of all the guys, he's the only guy having a bad series.
Stumbling around.
Oh my God, it was embarrassing. The last
that out of bounds play where he
hasn't been able to make a shot. He's had multiple turnovers. He drives into traffic with no plan, and gets the ball stripped. He's the only guy on the team that's had a bad series so far.
Let's talk about Austin Reaves. He warmed up before the game. And by the way, I do want to mention to Alice that Smart started 54 of his 62 games that he played. So he was mainly a starter for the Lakers this season. Boxer, and also I think it did. Okay. Boxer asked us twice about Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves was he warmed up about an hour before the game, decided it was a late scratch for the Lakers, but obviously he's very close to coming back. When you're at that point, when you're getting warm up and you're a last second call, like Kevin Durant was on the other end, you're obviously close enough to where it's touch and go at that point. But for another 2 days of rest, he will get, and Sunday, it's very likely he'll play. I'm not going to say for sure, but it's very likely that he'll play in Game 4. And with that, Tom, let me bring it to you first. Your thoughts on should they play him, and if he will play for Game 4?
I think he will play for Game 4 for a simple reason that Austin wants to play. He probably wanted to play last night, but they probably said, no, we're going to hold you out a couple of days. It's important for him to play because he needs to erase the ghost of the last playoff, because that's really the only bad mark against him, that he didn't have a great playoff, because he's had a career-changing year that's all-star quality, and the Lakers aren't going to let him go away. We've talked about the salary thing. I don't even want to get into that today because I still believe the same thing, that he's going to take a fair salary between 30 and 35 million. What I think is wonderful is the opportunity to have him in the lineup on Sunday. And the ideal thing would be that the series or the second round didn't start right away. So somebody, we get saved as the Suns, as Michael suggested, the Suns save us a game, put a few more days of rest in there for Luka, and Luka's ready to go in the second round. I'm glad it's not the other way around, because I'd like Austin to come in and blend. He'll blend easier with what exactly LeBron is doing right now than Luka would. And then when Luka comes back and everybody else on the team is blended that way, I think you'll see Luka be a lot less of ball hog, if you will. I think that Luka will understand that, okay, I'm going to make sure that we're moving the ball because that's the formula that has worked. And the way it's worked is also important to the defense because when anybody who's played the game knows when you get your share of the shots, man, you're playing a lot better defense than some guy who never gets a shot or never gets a call or never gets anything that he doesn't make for himself. I mean, it's great if you got a whole team that can go and get the ball for themselves, but by position, the guys who are guards are a lot easier to get shots off than forwards and centers.
So with that, Michael, what do you think about as far as Austin Reaves is concerned? I think he should come off the bench. I've always said, Joe and I have always said that on a
Now,
championship team, he should come off the bench. He should be a six man.
Yeah, well, he will come up. He will come off the bench.
I think 15 to 20 minutes just to get some reps in. Because if let's say the Lakers win, let's just say
for the whole series.
Well, let's just say the Lakers win. Let's just use that as an example. I'm not going to say that they are or whatnot. The odds will still say Houston's going to at least give one game, whatnot. But let's just say the Lakers win, and it's a week from when because I think the earliest they could play Oklahoma City, because look, Oklahoma City probably will sweep, is May the 2nd. So that's a week. I don't want on May the 2nd the guys to have one, possibly two cold guys who have not played a lick in the playoffs, especially in several weeks with Luka, if he does come back by then, and Austin on that. It would be nice to see at least Austin get 15 to 20 minutes, Michael. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's a good figure. And like that last time he was out for an extended period of time, he did come off the bench for several games before they put him back in the starting lineup. And the thing that really is exciting to me is what he will do for that second unit. Now we've got a go-to guy on that second unit, and that's going to shave some minutes off of LeBron. That's going to shave some minutes off of Luke. Having him available, because I mean, Luke and LeBron, Rui, they're all playing over 40 minutes a game right now. So that's going to help everybody having him there. LeBron can get a little bit more rest as can, and let's face it, he's 41 years old. He shouldn't be playing 42 minutes a game. So that's going to help, and it's going to give you, a second unit playmaker. And that's the reason why Luke and LeBron's been playing so many minutes, because Marcus has been starting. So they've been trying to rotate it, but that just gives him another playmaker, and that's going to shave a few minutes off of LeBron. And I think is really important.
The other thing is how it all lines up for the summer, because the ideal situation is that Marcus Smart becomes the backup point guard, and that we get a real true three, who's a 3-and-D threat, who basically is a real defender who can defend the way that Smart did, but also give us that offense and size that we lose out with Smart going in and playing as a third guard, essentially. I mean, it's why we've always wanted that starting small forward with a 3-and-D player. But Smart is definitely, I mean, there is a world where Marcus Smart is basically the perfect backcourt mate for Luka Doncic, we have Austin Reaves. So the luck of the riches in our case, Smart eventually is going to be the sixth man, I think, in the Lakers situation, because they're going to bring in a starting small forward. And then all of a sudden, if you have a starting small forward, and even if you have LeBron back, which I do think, I think that here's what winning the series has done, or will do for the Lakers, because it'll really solidify JJ Redick as the head coach of the future. I mean, if he turned around and not only won 53 games, but also won the first round without Luka and Austin, There's no question he's going to be, even though he wasn't the choice of Mark Waltler, he's going to be the future coach of the Lakers. The second thing is LeBron James is going to be back. They'll work it out. He'll probably come back and maybe it'll be 20 million or whatever, but they'll work it out. Because he's not going to leave LA, and he's not going to leave. I mean, Rich Paul just came out and said he could play 5 more years. And he frankly could at the rate he's doing. He's probably the 10th best player in the league now. I mean, it's crazy, but and then obviously Smart is going to be back. Kennard is going to be back, and Rui's going to be back. They're going to have to negotiate with the guys, and everybody's going to try to take less money, and LeBron will be the leader of that pack and taking less money to show everybody how much he cares about staying a Laker and about keeping his team together. And then we all know that they've got great resources for the summer with the 3 draft picks. I mean, I've always been a Pelinka doubter and hater, but man, he struck gold with the Kennard move. That trade was the best second round pick that we've ever gave up.
Absolutely. He has been very successful as of late.
Kennard is going to really help the bench.
As I remind his biggest cheerleader, which is Stefan Piscano, the Stefan Piscano podcast, I remind him daily when I do this show. With Rob Pelinka, it's ups and downs.
Yeah.
And right now we're on a very good up, which is great for the Lakers.
We got to surround him with people to make sure that he doesn't have an ability.
That's the problem. There's that there's a roller coaster ride with Rob Pelinka with the decision. But let me go ahead and go on with Boxer's question, Michael. Guys, I really love JJ Redick's coaching IQ on this team is off the charts. What do you think the Lakers should focus on for this upcoming game? Well, Kevin Durant, I would expect to be back, Michael. I don't expect him to have 9 turnovers again. But the thing is, it's either feast or famine where he's playing with the Lakers. One half, he'll just look like he's just slicing through the Lakers like melted butter. And then the next half, the Lakers will throw a scheme at him that he just can't figure out. I'm hoping it'll be the latter and not the former for Game 4, Michael.
Well, I think the key element to the defensive success with Durant and the Rockets in general really is they've been mixing their coverages and disguising their coverages so well. The coaching staff has done a brilliant job. They don't know what to expect, and I think that's one of the things why, Durant looks really good, and then they make some adjustments and they start, they're constantly changing their schemes on the fly, which with such a short, it's amazing. I mean, you got to give it up to the players as well, that they've been able to grasp all of these changes quickly and effectively. So I think the key really will, again, one of their Segun or Kevin, only one of them can have a great game. Mm-hmm. The other one, they have to stop the other one. If they do that, they'll win, because the complimentary guys just have not been knocking down their shots, except for Smith, and he's so damn tall. It's really hard to stop him from scoring because he just shoots over everybody. But they haven't been feeding him enough to where he can go off for 30 or 40. But if they can shut down either Segun, they can't give him 30 or Kevin, one of the two. I mean, they don't have to stop them both, but they just have to stop one of the two, and I think we'll win.
Tom, JJ Redick should get a lot of praise. I mean, we've seen it's a learning on the job process, and he learned a lot, I'm assuming, from last playoffs debacle and how he handled it. And there have been times where he has not looked the greatest, and sometimes where he's looked really good. So it's been kind of a weird evaluation how you look at him. You can't, he has been out schemed by more experienced coaches at points during his first 2 years in the league, but it is his first 2 years coaching at a really serious level of any kind. and he's drawing still a lot from his experience as a player. You can tell as the way he goes ahead and schemes things out, but he is learning, he is adapting, and he's doing a really good job of throwing different looks at the Houston Rockets they can't seem to adapt to. And with that, Tom, I ask you the same thing. He has done, again, and like Boxer said, a really great job of thinking on the fly and being able to adjust on the fly this series. What do you think should be his focus to try and finish off the Rockets in game 4?
Well, there's when you come down to it, what's made the real difference in this series has been the Lakers have made their shots and the Rockets have not. So any strategy that the Rockets are going to adopt to try to change that has got to change that reality. In every single series, every single game, the Lakers basically have outshot them from the 3-point line. They have a higher percentage and more makes and takes. So I think that they're not, their whole attitude seems to be that they think that since we only averaged 104 points, something like that, for the 3 games, that they ought to be able to beat that scoring average. Yet the reality is that they run through periods of times where they just can't score against our defense, and where we take their turnovers and turn them into points. I think the problem is that they can't beat the Lakers if the Lakers do the right things, because they just do not have the secondary or primary playmaking to be able to have a good enough offense to beat a Lakers defense that has become elite at this point in time. A defense that basically really didn't lose much, if anything, because of Austin and Doncic being injured. And in fact, by having Vandy be one of the substitutes, the defense is probably a little bit better. But the play has been considering we're on an upward swing as far as the play of the team has been going. I think with the one exception of Jake, who's really been struggling, we've had just consistent contributions, positive contributions from almost everybody who's played, and definitely the starters. Now, we had a tough game 3, and yet what was really amazing was how the bench came through. The bench had all of the plus minus players that were the real difference makers, and that same thing was true the previous game. So it's been not just contributions where we have a star in each game, but we have multiple players coming in. So the key to the game 3 isn't anything that the Rockets do. It's what the Lakers do. The Lakers have proven that one of their consistent championship habits was they do not lose leads. Even
let's cut down. Let's turn those 20 turnovers into maybe 13 or 14.
Right. Well, we have cut down the since February 28th. We dramatically have cut down the turnovers, but we still can improve in that areas. We still can dramatically improve in the defensive rebounding and the blocking.
There's been way too many WTF turnovers in this game where you're going, what was that?
Nobody in the NBA blocks out as good as kids I see play college and high school basketball. I mean, it's amazing. It was like the Marcus Smart saving rebound that he got that really kept us in that game. Nobody else touched him. He passed the ball. He passed the ball off. The guy took the shot, and he ran right straight into the key. Not another person touched him until he grabbed the ball. Then he got fouled 2 times.
I want to just mention one thing when we're talking about the defense. I got to give a shout out to Nate McMillan. He's always been considered one of the best defensive minds in basketball, and having him on the bench, and I'm certain that he's behind a lot of our defensive schemes because he's been a brilliant defensive coach his entire career. So JJ's been getting a lot of flowers for the way we've been playing, but Nate McMillan, I'm sure, is really involved in the defensive improvement. I really believe that.
Well, we've had good continuity of the coaching staff for the first 2 years, because most of the guys came back. And I think that's really important. And I think that one of the things we're starting to see in the players is there's just such great value to having chemistry and continuity of everything that you do, of how your offense runs and how your defense runs. Because you can just tell that our defense has improved so dramatically from the start of February to where we are right now in the middle of March or middle of April. The question comes then, what happens if we win this series? What happens if we win this series and everybody's healthy for game one? Everybody.
I don't think Luka will be. From everything I've been reading, I maybe the middle of his series, but I don't think he's going to be ready for the first game.
But here's the question. I think that they have to go. I think that there are two reasons that we have an opportunity to do better against OKC than we have done in the past. One is that I think that our depth and diversity has really been helped by having to win a series without Austin and Luka. I think we've become much stronger than that. All of our championship culture has been proven and has some more experience. And then secondly, I think that we need to change. And just like you suggested, Michael, I think we need to have a lot more egalitarian offense than a Luka Doncic heliocentric offense. I think we would do a lot better with 3 guys scoring 25 a game than 1 guy scoring 40. And if we can make that change so that we really enhance and empower the role players on the team to perform like stars on their roles, then we have a chance to at least, if not win a championship, steal a couple of games and show that we can compete with the top third team in the league, because that's who we're going to have to compete with for the next decade.
Yeah, that's been one of the most impressive things to me about LeBron is how he adapts to whatever the team needs. They needed him as a third guy. Okay, now I'm the third guy. Oh, you need me as the first guy again? Okay, I'll be the first guy again. That's what I think Luka has to learn that.
Yeah. Luka's never planned to play off the ball, though, his entire life.
Great shout out to Blue. Truly appreciate him expressing the gratitude for us as far as thank you again. Please like and subscribe, as Blue said earlier. He did also ask if we should keep LeBron and Smart out for Game 5, and I would say probably not. If you have the chance to close it out, I would. I would not try to give Houston any.
You don't want to become the New York Yankees, man.
You don't want to become the team, that one team
in
the NBA playoffs.
To win,
I just 3-0. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. But Doobie said something, Michael, that you had referred to earlier in the show. He says, all I know is when Luka and AR comes back, let LeBron run the show and we just play better basketball with Bron leading. Your thoughts on that? I know you want the ball to move around, and as do I. But Luka and Austin are just different players in that sense. They're not guys that traditionally want to every single possession move that ball around. The ball has a tendency to stop with those two.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is that we already have the solution, because the way that we have broken up the lineup is that it's LeBron alone with guys that really do well with him, and it's Luka and Austin together. The natural split would be LeBron, would be Luka, you're going to be point guard. And when you're sitting, Austin is going to be the point guard, because that's what's going to happen in the future, theoretically, depending on what happens with LeBron. Maybe LeBron plays for 5 more years. Maybe we should be thinking differently. But that's how we're already set up, because LeBron, it's about the lineup information. The lineup information basically statistically says you put LeBron with Rui and Ayton and a couple of guys in, and he always comes out well. He doesn't need to have, and matter of fact, he has a higher plus minus or net rating when he does not have Austin Reaves or Luka Doncic with him. whereas those two guys together always seem to have the better rating than the three of them together have or had. But that's constantly changing because we haven't had enough data on how the three of them relate. But we do know, I think the question is a really important one, which is, do we go back to the same 1, 2, 3 Luka, Austin, LeBron relationship we had before?
Again,
or do we go to a more egalitarian relationship that maybe considers what the matchups are that you're playing against?
Players often revert back to their true selves on occasion like this, no matter how hard a coach will try to implement a certain style of offense or defense.
And the older players tend to be more versatile or sometimes less versatile, but LeBron tends to be, I'll fill whatever hole has to be filled. And that's got to be another advantage that we should take advantage of.
Well, Legend wanted me to ask my thoughts on the Lakers and OKC series, and I'll lead it to you, Michael. I'm just going to say this. If it should get to the point, I don't want to take anything for granted because I got called out because someone has thought I was already assumed that the Lakers going to win, and I didn't. But okay.
The Lakers are going to win for you.
Okay, well, there you go. You see, Tom can do that. But let's just assume, or let's just think that the Lakers and OKC are going to move on to the next round, Michael. For me, it's just simple. The Lakers have to find a defense that can slow down SGA and have all three of their players, provided they have all three of their stars, click in order to win 4-7 against the defending champs. That's my opinion. Everything has to go right when you beat a very talented team like OKC, Michael. Your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I really don't know how good our defense was against OKC because we spoon-fed them so many points off of really stupid turnovers. That's the key. I mean, we cannot turn the ball over like we've been turning the ball over against.
You can't give OKC 20 turnovers.
No, you can't. We were doing that. So, and then also you got the offensive board issue. So, I mean, they're going to beat us on the offensive board. It's just going to be how big is the discrepancy? Is it going to be 23-4 or is it going to be 19-10? On the offensive board. So, I mean, those are the two, to me, those are the keys to staying in the game because those were the two things that beat us badly when we played. Well, the second game, come on. I mean, nobody played. But the first game, that's what really killed us. I mean, the second game, everybody got, it was just, it wasn't the same, but
why?
Yeah, those are the two keys to me is take care of the ball and don't get clobbered on the offensive boards. You're not going to beat them on the offensive boards.
Well, they're getting killed on the offensive boards every single game by Houston, and they're still finding ways to win because
are you talking about? Are we talking about the Thunder or are we talking about the Rockets?
We're talking about the Thunder, but no, Mike was just talking about
the same thing with the Rockets.
The biggest thing with
the Thunder is how we beat the Rockets.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Tom. Here's the problem. OKC has ball handlers. OKC has guys that can hit shots.
They don't have a deficiency in ball handlers.
The Lakers, just to give this all out there, Michael, and I'll let you finish. The Lakers have lost the rebounding battle each of the 3 games and have gotten a substantially less offensive rebounds than the Houston Rockets all 3 games. Houston just has such a inept offense that they're not able to finish the deal and see the deal once they get those offensive rebounds. Go ahead, Mike.
And that's what I'm talking about with OKC is OKC will finish the deal if we give them as many chances as we've been giving the Rockets. Now the second game, they got 19 offensive boards against us, but we got 10. Right. So it wasn't like the first game when they had I think 23-4.
Right, and the
21-3.
Turnovers were fairly
doesn't bad any which way.
Yeah, so I mean that's the key to us staying with OKC. It's
well, you got to minimize those 2 things, but you're not going to beat them unless you outshoot them.
Well, we're going to have to do that too.
That's what happens. That's why we won against Houston. We outshot them,
and hopefully Williams is hopefully Williams' hamstring strain will linger for a few weeks.
We'll see what happens.
That
But
will.
I mean,
Go
we
ahead,
shot
Michael.
48% to 41 from field, 41 to 28 from threes.
I know, but
our worst game against them. Our worst shooting game against them.
Yeah. And that was another thing that yesterday was a little bit scary to me, was the fact that we couldn't hit a shot in the second half.
Right.
I mean, we still won, but everybody was missing everything. I mean, and so that was a little bit disconcerting. But yeah, to have a chance, you got to take care of the ball.
Sunday should be a practice against OKC, frankly, because we need to do exactly what you said. We need to cut down on the turnovers, and we need to focus on making sure that they don't kill us on the offensive rebounds. And we need to continue to outshoot them. If we can do those three things on Sunday, that's the best way we can prepare for OKC.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's
going to beat them, is to minimize those two deficiencies that we have and to optimize our one, hopefully the one thing that we are one of the best shooting teams in the league. We always had the best field goal percentage, but now we're starting to consistently have more than just 2 or 3 people have come out with a lot of points every game.
Let me go to Twitch with Parade on Figueroa. Always great to have him here. Love that name, by the way, as far as Twitch is concerned. Parade on Figueroa. Hi, Gerald, Tom, and Michael. What has been more surprising, LeBron's performance or Marcus Smart's performance? Tom, I'll take it to you first on this.
You gotta say LeBron, because the guy's 41 years old, for Christ's sakes, and he just lost his best 2 players. Well, I think here's my best answer for that, because I'm a huge Marcus Smart fan. I think that those 2 guys together have been the brain trust that has really turned the whole situation around for the Lakers. It's the way there's 2 plays that really tell a story about that. In the game 2, when LeBron is dribbling down the court, he's holding his palms down, trying to say, calm down and take your time, everybody. And then he takes off like a bat out of hell, trying to beat his guy. And Marcus Smart doesn't just, I'm going to relax because LeBron said to relax. He just is all ready so he can make a perfect bullet pass to get the dunk that really to seal the game. I mean, it's those kind of plays and sort of the way that as we approach the end of the games, the 2 guys look at each other and it's almost like there's a mind meld there where they don't have to. It's almost like you see them shaking their heads and the other guy shakes his head and you know that they're thinking the exact same thing. Now, maybe they're not entirely. Maybe one of them shaking his head because he's thinking about a great dinner he's going to have or what a great game he's got, or he's got a great tip on the stock market. But it looks like these guys are really it's the same thing on defense. And what it is it's championship habits. It's learning that if you see a guy getting doubled over here, that you know that at 2 moves down the road, the guy is going to pass is going to go to the guy that you're guarding. And so you have anticipation of where it's going to happen. And everybody is in that same mode because they're all thinking the same way, because they've all developed the same championship habits by doing it correctly time after time or doing it incorrectly time after time.
Michael, your thoughts. What has been more impressive, LeBron's performance or Marcus Smart's performance? I would have said Luke Kennard. Yesterday, he didn't have the greatest of shooting days, but will still be able to give you 14, 6, and 6, which is still pretty solid for a guy that, like Tom said, you only got for really Gabe Vincent in a second. So I want to ask you this, though. Which has been more surprising, LeBron's or Marcus Smart?
Well, as far as surprising, I'd go with Luke too, but because as far as between those 2, man, it's the most surprising thing to me is the defiance of age from both of those guys. I mean, they're playing the way they played in their primes. Both of them are playing the same way they played in their primes, and so. That to me is the most surprising thing, is that they are able to, play like they were when they were in the prime. I mean, that's the most surprising thing, is that there just doesn't seem. I mean, even LeBron's dunks, his head's still at the rim, and Marcus Smart is playing like he was 26 years old, So I mean, that's the defiance of age with both of those guys. I think is the most surprising thing. It's remarkable that they're competing at this level at their ages.
It was so funny because we talk about what happened with 30 seconds left, and I'll get to it in a second, Nick T. Here he goes, Nick
The
T with the
remarkable
Luka.
30 seconds, isn't it?
But it's funny because LeBron, if you saw him, he made that play where he missed a layup right there with about a minute left, about 40 something seconds left, about in that range. And he walked to the back. He thought this game was over. He thought this game was over too. He was walking back. Well, he was tired, obviously. But
can I interject?
Back. Yeah.
The first time out, they sent him to the bench. He had blood. He got cut.
Yeah, I know, but he was walking back on that play with Alperen Sengun,
holding his wrist.
And Alperen Sengun was starting to do that. I'm feeling it. The Lakers, the Houston has won game 3. He started to feel it. And even LeBron, maybe in his mind, had said, okay, we'll get him game 4. But then Marcus Smart willed them back into this game. And of course,
he did not quit
from there.
He did not quit.
No Worries Parade. Always great to have you here on Twitch. Nick T with his Luka hate comment, as he always does. I'll trade Luka for Halliburton. Halliburton took OKC to 7 games with less talent than park car Luka. Luka shoot too much and plays zero defense. Thank you for the super chat, as always.
That's not a valid criticism.
He was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Month in March.
I'm just going to go like this, Nick T. Luka is one of the greatest offensive players on the planet. Tyrese Halliburton is a great player in his own way, but you have to build each team around them in different ways to maximize their skills. Now, both at this point in time have not beaten OKC in a series. Well, at least with the Lakers, Luka hasn't. And with of course what we saw with Indiana, Halliburton, because of his injury, couldn't finish the job as well. So we'll see. Let's see what happens. But Luka has beaten OKC in a series before with Dallas. So again, I don't know. We're facing a team that is the defending champions. If we win the series here, and OKC wins their series, you're facing a team that is considered the best in basketball, that proved itself over the course of the season.
They could be missing one of their best players.
Could be missing one of their best players.
And we already obviously 2 of our best players.
Yes. So again,
this injury thing is crazy when you're speaking about Halliburton. I think I saw a tweet that was somebody said that here's 5 guys that are missing right now from action, and they could actually be the best team that we could have. And it was Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, Wemby, Halliburton, and who was the 5th guy? And anyway, there was the fifth person that they could put together, and that those 5 might be the best 5 that you could possibly put together. The amount of injuries has just been crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm again lobbying for 40-minute games. Makes sense.
Yeah, there was a comment on that I've read it several times, and that's the game is faster, the players are bigger. And
they run more miles than ever before.
Human beings are not built for that kind of.
And then you have this LeBron guy at 41 running back and forth and doing double clutch. Okay, when you say that, there's this 41-year-old guy that's running and doing this. He's proving you wrong while you're saying that.
Well, I said human people. Are
okay. I'm sorry. That's that. Okay. Yes.
I didn't say cyborgs. Cyborgs can run all day.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. But before we head it out, I did want to ask you guys one last time. Austin Reaves most likely is coming back for Game 4. It's a good chance, anyways. I know that Ime Udoka said it's still not certain for Kevin Durant, but I'm just going to assume he's in there as well.
Yeah, Kevin Durant will come back.
Yeah, I know he said earlier today that Kevin Durant is improving, but it's unclear for him. I'm just assuming he's going to play, and I'm assuming also as well AR is going to play. How would you manage his minutes, and would you have him coming off the bench, Michael?
I would manage. I think Tom said something 15 to 20 minutes. and have him come off the bench. Um, Maybe the first guy off the bench, but have him come off the bench. And I just, if we didn't have, if we had more time, I wouldn't even play him. But we don't. So he needs to get some reps. That's the only reason I'd play him.
Get the reps off is all we get hope for.
Yeah, he needs the reps, and because we got the OKC coming up, and we have to have him, as close to ready as possible. And I don't think he can get that without some game time. So, yeah, but yeah, it doesn't have to be 30, 35 minutes. Give him 15, 20 minutes, and then hopefully that'll be enough, and we'll win the game, and he'll be able to continue to work on his game for a while.
Tom, before we head on out, you got your latest post at Lakerholics.com. What you talking about at Lakerholics.com?
I can't even hardly remember after the game last night. I think I've been just really, when you think about the challenges that a team faces during a long regular season, and sometimes you can't deny that as we call them, the basketball gods, have a lot to do with everything that happens in the league, with the way that injuries can just change how teams are doing or what their prospects look like. And this has been just a year that's just been a roller coaster of injuries to major players, and trying to take a incomplete roster, a flawed roster, and try to develop championship culture with these people. And I think that JJ has done, and I think it is his entire coaching staff that has shown just a great ability to get the team to play consistently well on both ends of the court, and they never give up. I think that one of the things that certain characteristics of great players like Marcus Smart and like LeBron James really is a major part of the character of everything. And you look at the championship teams that the Lakers have had, and it's been the personal characteristics of the champion superstars that have been on the team that have really determined what kind of team they are. And this is true of every championship team. It's basically the star players and the glue players that hold the team together that really create the culture that the team becomes. There's no really such thing as a quote, a Heat culture or a Lakers culture and so forth. It just varies with the people that you have. And the Heat don't have a great group of people right now to have a Heat culture. The Lakers have a group of people that I think are playing, and I think that what I've been trying to figure out how to tell a story about is just that I think that the Lakers are developing a championship culture here. They're really getting an identity for what kind of team that they are. That playing harder could be their cheat code. That they never give up on anything. That they really do trust everybody. I mean, watching LeBron and Luke Kennard bat the ball back and forth between each other, just trying to give the other guy a better opportunity because they knew that they didn't have a real good shot at that moment. But they were willing to get that ball over there. So LeBron is passing the ball to Luke Kennard, who averaged, 7 points a game last year or something like that. He's trying to get him to take the three-point shot to save the game, to tie the game and send it to overtime. And he fumbles the ball, so he does the same thing. He knocks back to LeBron, and LeBron takes a shot. This is the superstar trusting the guy that nobody even knew about that we traded for, that wasn't on anybody's trade list. I have a trade list bigger than anybody else, and he wasn't on my trade list. I wasn't trying to trade for Luke Kennard. Thank God Rob Pelinka did. He saved the Lakers season. We wouldn't be here without him.
And I have to say aloha. So
I think we are all going to say aloha.
It's raining here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Michael's got a date with the beach, and we're not going to keep it from him. So again, please go ahead and stop on by Lakerholics.com. Don't forget also as well, I've got my Lakers latest stuff for you guys at, of course, tomorrow and today at Lakers Latest on YouTube. And then, of course, tomorrow night we'll have the post game from Game 4 as well. Hoping the Lakers will finish it off, sweep, or otherwise it'll just give us a week off before we face whoever we're going to face next, most likely Oklahoma City Thunder. So for Michael Heinrich, Laker Tom, please stop by Lakerholics.com where they've got the latest information and news on the Lakers right there for you. And make sure you check out what we're doing this weekend on Lakers Latest and, of course, what's going on right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So again, thanks again for joining us and have yourself a great Lakers weekend.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha.